So the iconic BT Tower in London has been sold. It's defunct, it's a defunct commercial property, it's going to be repurposed. What lessons can we learn when we are repurposing defunct commercial properties from this story? That's all coming up. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that bell icon so you're notified when we upload new videos, which we do so 3 times a week. So the BT Tower in London is iconic. It was opened in 1965 by the then Prime Minister Harold Wilson, and at that time it was the tallest building in London. Strangely enough, as a 1965 building, it's actually Grade 2 listed. And like many commercial buildings of that era, they are now defunct without a use. So who's bought it and what are they going to do with it? Well, it's a luxury hotel group from the US of A called MCR, and they have paid £275 million for the hotel. So what can we learn from this repurposing of this defunct commercial building? Now, the buildings we like to repurpose are ones which we can repurpose under permitted development rights. This building isn't permitted development, mainly because it's Grade 2 listed, of course, and those are exempt from the permitted development rules. And also, under the current rules, it's too big. Under the current rules, under Class MA, you can convert buildings which are up to 1,500 square meters. But that limit is is going to be abolished from 5th of March. So this BT Tower is going to be repurposed to a hotel under a full planning application. Now, one thing it says in the FT article is that the sale of the BT Tower is going to take 6 years to complete. Now, why is that? It's not actually said explicitly in the article, but I'm inferring that this deal is subject to obtaining planning permission. And the 6 years to complete is assuming that it's going to be a little bit of a planning process to get the application passed. Now, this makes perfect sense because, as I've always said, when you're repurposing anything, if you're doing it under permitted development, you have some certainty that you're going to get the permission for your repurposing project. Because the thing with permitted development, as the name suggests, it's permitted. There's a checklist of criteria that your scheme has to follow, and provided you tick all the boxes, you know whether or not you're going to get the permission. With a full planning application, anything is up for grabs, and we don't know. Now, a great example of planning permission being so uncertain for repurposing commercial properties is the case of Marks & Spencer's flagship store in Oxford Street. Now, Marks & Spencer's applied to basically demolish the existing building and build something new on the site, including residential redevelopment and that kind of stuff. Now, in this case, our good old friend Michael Gove intervened in that planning application and personally blocked it, believe it or not. Now, of course, M&S are not taking this nonsense lying down from Mr. Gove, and they've gone to the High Court to apply for a judicial review on the subject. And the judge actually said Michael Gove misunderstood and misapplied planning policy in his findings. So there you go. But all that underlines is how uncertain planning applications are. That's why permitted development exists. So the M&S case is likely to take years. And that's why this repurposing of BT Tower, they've allowed for 6 years for the sale to go through because they don't know who's going to object to what. But that's basically what we have in the UK, a planning system that is a complete dog's breakfast and is unfit for purpose. You've got all these building types that are languishing without a purpose. We've got a desperate need for housing and other uses, but planning policy and local authorities are sticking their beaks in and not allowing this to happen. That is the whole point of permitted development. And the main rule that we are applying when we're using permitted development to convert commercial buildings to residential use is what's known as Class MA. Under a simplified light touch planning process, we can basically put in a 56-day application to convert certain types of buildings which are in commercial usage Class E and we can convert them into residential use. Now, commercial buildings which are in usage class E include things like offices, shops, they include things like dentist surgeries, doctor's surgeries, nurseries even, gyms and such like. As long as they're not in a grade 2 listed building or area of outstanding beauty, and there are a couple of other limitations, you are good to go. As of 5th of March, when you apply for the permission to convert under permitted development, the building doesn't even have to be vacant, and also there is no limit to the maximum size of building you can do. So I would leave things like converting BT Tower and M&S in Oxford Street to folks with very big pockets and who are happy to sit it out for 10 years plus to try to get those permissions through. But for me and you, what we want to be focusing on are permitted development commercial conversion projects, where basically you get the permission in 56 days, and because the building is internal reconfiguration, you can be in and out of that project in just a year. Now, one type of commercial building that's absolutely ripe for conversion are former bank branches. There are thousands of these shutting down over the next few years, and what we've done is we've put together a list of over 500 bank branches that are shutting down all over the UK. Now, you can get this list for free. The link is on the screen below. You can sign up for that and get that list of banks closing down in your area and repurpose one of them. That's it for this video. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon, and see you guys next time. The Baker Street Property Meet is the UK's largest and #1 property investors networking event. The property market is going through monumental change right now, and at Baker Street Property Meet we aim to keep you up to date with the latest tips and tricks and insider tactics to help you keep on top of your property investing game and succeed in these troubled economic times. The Baker Street Property Meet is fundamentally about networking, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. And at Baker Street, we aim to connect you with the people to make your property journey a monumental success. There's no better place to be to further your property investment journey than the Baker Street Property Meet. So make sure you're here, you're connecting with myself and Andrew Roberts, our expert guest speakers, and 300 passionate property people each and every month. See you at the next meet. Get your spot at bakerstreetpropertymeet.com.